Is it normal to read a few pages of a book and then suddenly realize that you have no idea what's going on in the plot because you have been reading the words but not internalizing their meaning? I always end up reading the same thing over and over. This is why I can't do audiobooks. I'll listen for about a half hour before I realize I haven't heard a word. At least with books I can flip back and look through pages. I'm going to try speeding up the audiobooks and see if that helps. I really think that might be why my brain loses interest. Sometimes I've picked up the book version of the audiobook and realize I don't recognize anything. Lol, I get this all the time. Usually that's my cue to turn my brain off and stare at nothing for 5 minutes. I wanna try that. Voluntarily. I have ADHD and have struggled with this my whole life. If it's a fiction book that I'm into, it doesn't happen as much, but any required reading in school or textbooks were basically Sisyphean task for me. Every time I read about people with ADHD, I wonder more if I have ADHD. I was looking at getting a test before COVID. I might see if I can pay for an online one. Edit. By online test I mean a video chat with a psychiatrist to get diagnosed properly, since you're generally not advised to see people in person here at the moment. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm fairly certain it is. I've been like this as long as I can remember. I'm 30, I don't remember being a kid in amazing detail, but I don't remember being able to focus before, etc. And not now. Yes. I find it frustrating when I'm wanting to read and my brain is just skipping all over the place. If I keep doing it, I start to read out loud and that seems to focus my concentration. I started reading out loud and my father said it was a big no-no because then I can't quick read in my exams. I totally agree with him, but I just can't read in my head. I say the same words over and over and end up crying over not being able to pass one word. Try blocking out the page with a piece of paper so you're only able to focus on the line you are reading. In addition to ADHD or boredom, this can be caused by skipping over unknown words. Research has shown that this can derail the brain and cause you to end up reading the same thing over and over. Once I vowed to look up words I didn't know, this problem pretty much went away for me. I'm not fluent in English and I never saw the word derail, so my brain just did the thing that you described, lol. It's like watching a TV show but your mind is elsewhere. You hear the words but don't know the plot. Yep. I do it with books, sadly movies too. I've never gotten through a book, or even more than 30 minutes into the movie, and I love that whole genre. I've had this with textbooks before, particularly with the organic chemistry field. Generally how I get out of doing that is I consciously try to picture what is being said in my mind while actively reading. Oh, object A forms a bond with object B? I'm imagining an image where A is connected to B. It slows my reading speed, but I tend to understand what I'm reading afterwards. This is why I never read. Whenever I try, I have to read the page like 10 times before I can actually retain any sort of information that was on the page, and it happens literally every single time I pick up a book. I have ADHD and I can read a few pages before I realize I haven't actually taken anything in. Which is great stuff when you're invested in studying for the next few years. I'm usually just distracted by other things, usually my own thoughts, when that happens. I've been struggling with what I personally think is ADHD, and since getting help is near darn impossible in Russia, free healthcare my ass, it doesn't even work. It will likely fucking stay that way. That happened to me for as long as I can remember myself, along with scrolling paralysis where I just scroll my Reddit feed and drift off into nothingness, as well as forgetting what I have been told directly 5 seconds ago, as well as 1,000 other things which sort of make my life shit. Along comes depression and everything. So I don't know how normal it is, but it definitely happens to other people. OP. Yes. I used to whiz through books so quickly but now can't seem to internalize it for the life of me. When that happens, I just search for the audiobook on YouTube. 99% of the time they have it free, and read along while listening. It helps a shitton.